So, which one comes first? Heart issue or blood pressure issue? That's kind of like which one came first, the chicken or the egg?
Perfect.
Well, good morning. June 9th, day 9 of the 30-day walk challenge. Are you still with us? As you can tell by now, I have a routine every morning. Make sure I stay hydrated, do my potassium. Did you learn anything from yesterday's video about our blood vessels? Today, we are going to talk about the heart and how it affects our blood pressure. Well, some people ask me why I'm doing this. Why am I doing all these walk videos? Well, there are mainly two reasons. One is because as a survivor of aortic rupture and aortic dissection, and how I love to work out, people have asked me, how do you work out safely? I have a very difficult time answering that question because everybody's medical history is different. But I do know for sure that walking is pretty much safe for everybody. And the second one is that I may have a surgery coming up again, from a possible open heart surgery again. And I just want to make sure I put out all the information I know that I found out about how I recover and also how you can exercise safely, so that I've already done the trial and error and you can just learn from my mistakes and also my successes. At the same time, of course, with all these different tips on a daily basis, that you can learn something to apply to your life.
So today, let's dive right in and talk about the most commonly known organ associated with the blood pressure, and that is the heart. We're going to first talk about the basics, and then we're going to talk about the chicken or the egg, which comes first, heart problem or blood pressure problem. Our pulse is our heart rate. Our pulse tells us how many times our heart beats or squeezes per minute. Generally, it should be between 60 to 100 beats per minute, taken when you're at rest. Now, if your heart rate is slow, it's a condition called bradycardia. If you're an endurance athlete, such as a marathon runner, your heart rate could be as low as 40 to 50 beats per minute because your heart muscles are strong enough that each time it squeezes and pushes out the blood, it carries enough oxygen to carry it to the rest of the body. But if you're not an athlete and your heart rate is between 40 to 50, and you're having fainting, dizziness, and shortness of breath, that is not normal and you should go to the doctor right away. If your resting heart rate is consistently above 100, it's a condition called tachycardia. That could be a result of excessive stress and or anxiety, heavy alcohol or caffeine consumption, smoking or illicit drug use, and maybe even prescription medication or hyperthyroid. A suggestion that you may have seen online is to take your pulse for 15 seconds and then multiply that by 4. That is the simple way to do it. However, if you don't take it for a whole minute, you won't catch any skipped heartbeats if you have any. So, which one comes first? Heart issue or blood pressure issue? That's kind of like which one came first, the chicken or the egg? You may be asking, well, I thought high blood pressure can cause heart problems. Yes, that's true, but heart issues can also cause high blood pressure. For example, one of the ways heart issues can raise blood pressure is when the heart muscle is weak or becomes less elastic due to congenital, heart-related issues, or connective tissue disorder. This requires the heart to pump and squeeze harder to push the required amount of blood and oxygen to the rest of the body, and over time this causes the heart muscle walls to become weaker, which then disrupts the kidney functions and our body starts to not process sodium properly, and we start to retain fluids. And that's when we start to see swollen legs, ankles, feet, and maybe even the lungs. On the other hand, as most people know, high blood pressure can also cause heart issues. The high blood pressure from the blood vessels going into the heart can cause the heart muscles to thicken, which then cause the heart muscles to not relax between the heartbeats. And when the heart muscles cannot relax, it doesn't allow enough blood to go through the heart, so the decreased volume of blood that gets pumped out causes less blood to go to the organs, which then also causes other problems. So to answer which one comes first, the heart problem or blood pressure problem, the answer may not be that simple. I've only given 2 examples among the myriads of potential issues. So in conclusion, the reason for high blood pressure that relates to the heart is different for everybody. So in the end, we know this. We cannot control what we're born with, whether it's heart issues or blood vessel issues. What we do know is that we can manage or learn to manage the situation, which is what last week's tips were all about. We need to keep our blood vessels elastic and our heart muscles strong and elastic.
All right, so that concludes day 9 of the 30-day challenge walk, and hope you learned something about the relationship with the heart and the blood pressure. Tomorrow we're going to deal with a different organ, and we'll see you then.